Nityananda Gurukul, under the guidance of the rare living incarnation Paramahamsa Nityananda, with a combination of ancient Vedic knowledge of life and the global standards of the most modern student-based education. The BLISS curriculum includes quantum memory, multiple intelligence, mind-body learning, and the whole brain learning. This will lead your children to blossom into high achievers and to be the most successful leaders of tomorrow.
Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nityananda. Today we are going to be speaking about connecting to the children. The topic every week we have been discussing in parenting, explaining different aspects of children for us to understand their space much better. And this week is such a beautiful topic, one of my favorite topics, connecting to the children. Last week we saw the confidence. Before that we spoke about the teen, how the teens are and how they are listening and how to get them to listen to us. And we spoke about different aspects of children, stubborn children. And this week we're going to take a very special topic, connecting to the child. What do we mean by the connecting part? How do we connect to the child? Like, no, we are very comfortable connecting to an adult. Like we make friends. We go and talk to the teachers. We have this adult community where we have a lot of ways to connect. We have nowadays Facebooks and all kind of communications to connect to a lot of people in the world. But connecting to a child is completely different. Why is it different? How is it different? We are going to see today. We're going to understand the context where we are coming from to connect with the child. It's a wonderful space that you will be so surprised that you will be able to really connect to your children and make them to start listening the way you want to groom them. It's such a beautiful process which happens, and I'm sure at the end of this whole webinar, you will be able to really connect and have a great redefinition to the world you are having as a parent. Okay, the first one I want to tell you about the communication. The communication is a huge gap. They say generation gap, they have big, big words. The communication itself is a big word. The communication between the parent and the child. The parent lives in a very different world while the child lives in a completely different world. Their world is kind of more blissful, creativity, spontaneity. There's so many things we saw and we have heard. The children are much more in advance than the adults. Even for the small creativity, when they give a class of college kids, the adults and children of kindergarten, some creativity project, the creativity maximum hits in the kindergarten kids. Why? Because they are so spontaneous, they don't have any other ideas, views, opinions. So anything is new for them and they enjoy doing it. That is a very important thing, they enjoy doing that. So kids are in a space of celebration. And we adults are all with views, ideas and meanings and all kind of words jumbled up inside us. So then we are getting into the confusion. So the way we communicate to the child is a chaos. So they don't land up understanding anything much. For example, if the child doesn't understand negative words so easily, the parent goes on saying, don't run, don't do this, don't do that. But the visualization the child has is, there's no negative, they're always positive. So they tend to run more, get into more jumping and all kind of things. So the communication happening between the parent and the child is completely in chaos. The parent wants the child to do something, but the child is doing just the opposite of it. Why does it happen? How does it happen? How do we make it in such a way the kids are in sync with what parents are thinking? Where is the parents missing the whole thing? To a great surprise, the connecting to the child that we are trying to do here is nothing but a child inside you. There is a child inside us where we need to connect. We'll see today how we connect with the children as of today and how we should be connecting with the children in practicality. First thing we see is when we connect to the child, what do we do? How do we communicate with the child in the current day? We connect to the child in a very different space. For example, you see the father and the mother coming from the work and just relaxing and saying, oh, it's a horrible day, it's a tired day, it's so difficult, too much of work is on me, I have this to do, I have that to do, so many things. So what are we communicating here? I'm just going to question. What are we communicating here? We are telling life is such a burden, life is a suffering. Then we have different ways. When we go out, we are like always worried whether this could be happening or that could be happening, and we plan the whole thing. What are we communicating to the child? Again, we are saying life is dangerous, you have to survive. Again, we have a wrong communication given to the child. So the space we hold constantly is based from fear and based from greed. This is what the child constantly understands in their life. They do not understand what is communication. The parents are saying something, but they are completely acting something different. They say share everything and they don't share their cars with the neighbor. They go on saying things which they do not follow. So the child is very confused. The child doesn't understand the body language, the language of the parent. What do? They come and just lie down. They're so tired, they just lie down. Or on the holiday, they are like on the TV all the time. But they tell their kids not to watch TV, not to do this, don't be lazy, get up and do things. But constantly they are confused. What is happening versus what's real? And the feedback they get is from all this communication, okay, life is suffering. You have to get out by getting your greed on. We have to be very assertive in terms of putting people down. No, we have to survive. All these negative views, ideas starts getting into their system because the feedback they are getting from all this behavior of the parents, of the teachers, of the elders is only life is suffering, life is dangerous, you have to be having greed or fear to drive you. So all this is the language that we communicate completely to the children. So if we are giving this kind of understanding constantly through every action, from morning to night, every day, what do they learn? If you just take a video, start video recording yourself throughout the day and start playing it back, you will be so scared to see that movie. But the child is watching you constantly and very, very attentively. That is authentic listening they have. Because by nature, they don't have thoughts. They don't have too much of chaos, confusion. They are only here for curiosity, for understanding, for learning, for getting what is the feedback. So the constant feedback is, this is how human beings behave. So they think, this is how I also should act. And this is how I will grow. This is how I'll understand the world and become part of one. They just understand they have to be part of the whole. By doing that, they start acting out all these things. They do not understand that is going to hurt them in future like how it is hurting the adult. Right now, they're just into only looking, learning, and just acting it out on themselves. So the whole child inside us, the incompletion, is a projection of us. We are a bunch of patterns. So what we give the children? Again, the bunch of patterns. And we are satisfied, we have done the job very well. But such a mess, we have created a mess, another mess, apart from ourselves, we have created a smaller mess. And that we called a child. So how do we start communicating? If this is what it is, then what do we do here? How do we start connecting to the real child and start living the way we can bring up a conscious child? We are here to bring up a conscious being here and not a confused, chaos, suffering, running away from life, no self-esteem, continuous suffering in them, no leadership quality, not able to stand up, think it is a possibility, everything is doable, enjoying life, nothing happens. Anything happens in life, oh, this is too much for me, I cannot handle it. What an 8-year-old tells this. It's become too much of an artificial life that they are constantly suffering. They know very well this is going to lead them to suffering, but they think that is the part of life. But they don't know the real problem when it happens. Right now, if we start building a beautiful conscious child, then the way we communicate with the child will be different. The way the child responds to us will be amazing. You will be feeling, wow, I learned this from my child today. That's how you will be. You will not be, oh my God, he's come again from school. You will not feel like that. Rather, what is he going to say today? How he's holding his space. I am more curious. I want to live like him. No, you will be more wanting to be in the space of a child. You will be wanting to be yourself. But what has happened, it's the other way around. You give all the incompletion and they absorb that and give it back to you, which hurts you more. Swamiji sweetly puts it, the children are the cameras of the adult. They have a recording of what the adults are, what happens in the adult space. They just are the cameras. So if we see their life, how the children is, we can know how the parents are. So communicating with your inner child is what we are going to discuss now. First, we understood how we are, perfectly chaosed, confused beings. Now, I want to explain about the communicating with the child. First thing that we need to give the child the space is a clarity. For that, we need to be in clarity. We'll do the workshops which will give more clarity, but right now let me explain every part and then we'll go into the workshops. So first, anything you want to do in life, okay, you want to bring up this child, as simple as that, right? So now you are very clear, consciously start living that life. At least for one idea for your child, that's all. Nothing else. Any idea you want, but one idea you hold with clarity. The child is going to pick up the best. See, always if you give one plate of all the sweets and cakes and everything and hand over to the child will look and grab the best one. Very correctly, they'll take the best. Or you give them lots of ideas, people and all that. They'll correctly point out who is the one who's holding the space. Because they know what is best and they always pick up the best. So for these children, when you hold something in clarity, they will start moving into that. Wow, my dad is very keen about playing veena or tabla, and I just love listening to him. And they'll simply sit, anything. It can be a veena for some parents, it can be a football with some parents, anything they can hold. But some quality, if you are very clear in your life, involve the child in that. So first thing, give them a clarity. The second thing is how you make this happen. Okay, I'm very clear. In office, I'm very particular about this job and I'm going to make it a great success. This is my great job and I'm going to make it a huge success. So I'm going to plan out everything. So every day when you come home, you'll be in an N2 space. So the space that you hold when you have clarity is constant N2. See what I can do in life. I can make this happen. So when you start living, they will pick that up. The communication that you're giving is completely new. And they are so smart in picking up the best. Even 10 people are suffering and one person holds this space with clarity and making it happen. They will simply join you because they want the best from everything. And the third that you need to do is, even if it fails, how you stand up. You don't give up on yourself. You stand up and continue again from the start. They really see you in those points. They only see you in your pain points and suffering areas where you still stand up. When they see you, especially when kids are groomed in a very lower middle class and they are like particular about the money, income. They're very clean about the strategizing, not wasting it. They have some ideas. If the parent, I'm just giving an example, they're going to strategize how they're going to run the family, how careful they're going to be. Like, for example, they'll switch off the lights or the AC if they don't need. And father's very particular doing it every day. So the child picks up that. It can be as simple task as this. Nothing a big project the parents have to do. Simple task in their house, how they're holding that space is the real communication with your child. Bringing them up as a conscious child, connecting to them who they are, where they are. So for that, we have to stand up in simple things. Okay, this parent is very particular about the money. So he is giving a clear idea to the mom. The clarity happens. Then how the execution happens. Even if they have a big loss, how the parents are standing up. How he's able to again make up the whole thing. How he corrects himself. All that goes as a lesson software into your child. Everything he's observing. How these parents are conducting themselves. Where they miss out. And they also learn they should not do these things. They are very clever. They are very clear. The body language. Constantly, it's like a movie going on in front of you. Every day and day out, if I see this movie, what will happen to me? Just watch one movie every single day. No? What will happen to you? You will just be engrossed with that idea and the views in the whole movie. Same thing happens to a child. The child watches the parents. Okay, this is what it is. Constantly, the parent is going on and on with this kind of a behavior. So this is how I should be. They're little you. And with the addition from everywhere, and they create a new you, which creates more problem. Adding more incompletion. Because if they start with an incompletion, they're going to pick up things, object related to that. But if they pick up with something clarity, they're going to add more of that. And more living with all these ideas, which is clear, which is beautiful. That's why in those days, they tell a lot of stories. Here in Gurukul, Swamiji keeps on reminding them, having Prahlada pictures and Nachiketa pictures, which have high, defined clarity, clear kids who have lived in their life, who had definition to life, who had success to life in a extraordinary ways. So again and again showing them a clarity of how a conscious being lives. They're going to be a conscious being, as simple as that. Swami himself is there. And then he shows other beings also who's consciously living. So what is the kid going to grab? Okay, I want to be like that. I'm not interested in just socializing and, hi dude. I'm interested in standing up and making miracle as my lifestyle. So that is what they're going to be interested in. And if you start holding that space, they're going to be like that. So the communication first, what we were communicating through our body language, the feedback they get, constantly how confused they are. And now how we should hold the space with clarity, making it happen, and how we stand up without giving up. And then we are going to move to the next topic. How we behave with the child. The best part. Are we with empathetic space or how we behave? Usually it's like the mom chasing the kid to catch her and make her do things. Okay, now you finish the homework. Only then I'm going to leave you. The worst thing, one of the biggest thing I've seen the kids give a feedback. If you ask kids feedback, they say, I don't want to go home. As though they like the school. The school is more a mess. But still, they say they don't want to go home. Because it's like school, you get at least lost. And you're one among the 20 who's getting all the shoutings and everything, but in that home, it's like you are on the target. Constantly, did you do this? Did you do that? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? The parents nag the children. Nowadays, it's like not a joint family, so you can't get lost in the family. You are caught. So they don't want to be like that. They want to be who they are. So if we try to catch up with what they are, they should be, we mess up. We should not catch up where they should be, rather where we should be. That's where we make a mistake. Where they should be is free, beautiful, just grasping everything. It's like a nature. Kids are perfectly like a nature. You cannot go to a tree and say, now give me a plant, fruit, give me a fruit. You have to let the fruit to start happening in the plant. Same thing as a child. The child will get evolved slowly and slowly. So you have to build that space of empathy in the child. It doesn't happen just like that. So how do we teach the children to be empathetic? Where do we start? How the children will understand? Because we never have any ideas of you. Maximum, if we see somebody crying, we cry. Or maximum, we see something sad in the TV, we start crying. That is only powerless. That is not empathetic. How we are concerned for others' life's expansion. Making others part of you and making a decision, running out of your way to make the other person really conscious. When we do that, the child learns it. But what we do, we are only beating up people around us and catching other people into that incompletion. So constantly we give a context which is completely different. We don't give the right understanding. If we give the right understanding, empathy will be their lifestyle. But we always catch them by catching them because we have to get things done. I did this, I paid this, I registered him for this. Constantly we have a agenda towards our kids. They cannot be who they are, what they are. It's okay if they don't study 1 year. What is going to happen? Let them just explore life. Let them learn life. Let them go somewhere and learn something completely new. Let them be part of different groups. Let them learn what is life. You cannot protect a child holding them like this. No more. Because everywhere it's open, it's YouTube, it's one global world. You cannot hold them in your house and say, I'll not let him to play outside. Now he has a web. If you don't give, his friend gives in his school. So how will you stop that? So you cannot protect by force, fear, or greed. It doesn't work. You can try. Those days are gone. We were lucky when we are growing. Our parents were lucky. But now you cannot do that. You have to give the right understanding. What is the expansion for you and how you can expand in by doing something. If you tell them, if you talk to other person, in the context the other person is going to benefit, you're going to feel happy. Otherwise, if you're going to make the other person feel horrible, you're going to burn the bridges and it's going to hit back you because you are incomplete. Any incompletion, what happens? I call incompletion is any sad moment or any fear, anything which is not making you happy. So we are going to attract those kind of things. Whatever we give is what we get. So I'm going to give a very sad space and I'm going to create a sad space. I'm doing nothing but attracting sad space. How am I building my space? My built-up space is through all this incompletion. So I have a lot of blocks of incompletion and I called it my space. So it's not going to help me. So when we give this right understanding, how to converse with people which makes you happy, how to live a life which makes you happy, constantly you understand this, the kid is going to take in those things as a lifestyle. And then you have to start living with the child at least in that space. Not asking you to live with anybody else, just with the child. Connect with the child always with the right understanding. You don't have to do with everybody in the world, at least with the child. Tell him, I'm also practicing with you. So start connecting to the child in the space of right understanding. A right understanding means talking, making other person feel complete when you speak anything. That is the right understanding. The other person should feel this, I understand, okay, I understand. I know what you're trying to say, but I'm not ready to take it is also okay. The other person is having some incompletion, perfectly fine. But they're able to grasp what you are saying. Especially when somebody is upset and incomplete and you go try to tell them something is wrong, they get blared up and it's like, flared up and they start cursing you, shouting at you. And it becomes really difficult. Now is a chance where we can make the other person complete with what you are saying. At least that they got it with the right understanding. You will be complete. So then what happens? What you are saying is communicated to the other person. Otherwise, the communication is failed. Communication is what we are trying to give the other person, and the other person gives a feedback. That is communication. But we never bother about feedbacks. We go and bash everybody up. That's the way we live. I know. Okay, you know, so what? Just put it in a nice way. Yeah, let's discuss about something. This is something which I have come across. No, something more gentle, something more with them, where they will get the right understanding. I know the word is just like throws people off. So that is what I wanted to tell. Communicating with a child with the right context. What is the right context? There's a boss behavior, there is a leadership behavior. The boss is always confusing, chaotic, and he gives an understanding with chaos, where the coach, the leader, is always interested in your expansion. Both of them beat you up to make the result happen. The coach and the boss does the same job, but the result of the coach is completely different, is in the expansion of the others. He's just there for you. That is empathy. You have to be there for your child. Then he learns he has to be there for the world. He becomes a leader. But if you're bossing around and telling him what to do, what not to do, and constantly creating incompletion, then what happens in life? He is going to be one big boss and starting and going and telling, don't do this, don't do that, but constantly shouting, it will put him into depression because nobody will listen. Nowadays, nobody listens by shouting or anything. Giving them the right understanding with the clarity and making them success, holding that space for them, taking that extra step and making it happen for the other person. Only then it is a success. So if you don't do that, there is no empathy. The kids do not learn empathy if you don't project that. If mother's having a big festival at home and you tell her, don't this you do, don't do these things because you're going to be very tired. And then after that, holding the space is making her achieve everything out there. No, holding that space, then your child sees, oh, daddy is really beautiful. He helps the mom and makes sure everything is done very beautifully. I also want to be like that. No, they pick up even the small thing. It might be just a birthday party, but it makes a huge difference. That is a bigger gift than the gift that you will give in object. This gift that you would have taught him that day is much larger gift. It's an amazing space you have created and given to him, because you are very clear with what is going on and how you should conduct yourself with your inner child when things happen in your life. So then the child also knows, and he's also starting to do in a very conscious way, not just for mental satisfaction or proving that he is great, nothing. It's a conscious decision that you make, gives us the best gift for your child and connecting to him. So that is the most important. Next, we are going to go to the third part of connecting to the child. The self-esteem really shows, the level it really shows. You can measure how amazing your child is with this component. The first two parts. The first part is the communication. We spoke about how we communicate by being incomplete. And then we spoke about how to communicate from your completion space and holding the whole thing in clarity and making it happen. Then we spoke about empathy. The second part, we spoke about empathy, how we have to give the right understanding and how to be a coach. The third part I want to explain is the self-esteem. How do you build a self-esteem? Because all these components make a full communication. Then it becomes a connection. It's like for a phone connection, you need a phone, you need a receiver, you need a sender, you need a message line. Everything has to happen in the line, which a dial number. Then you should be able to dial, and then both can converse. So we are building with three components. The self-esteem that you need to build in the child. If you build the child with a low self-esteem, what is I call as low self-esteem is just driven by outer world greed or fear. Just for mental satisfaction, just for having a success. I am a great basketball player. I am a great scientist. No, that doesn't help. After some time, this scientist feels, oh my God, I wasted 20 years of my life. It's great, you have a great name, but there is no deeper conscious space happening in the child. He came down to planet Earth to be a divine being. He did not come here for just living a great person and saying, hi, I'm a great leader, I have achieved this, I have 20 degrees, I'm working in the best company and I'm earning the best and I have a great job and I have, be Bill Gates, no problem, very nice, beautiful, but be Buddha inside to enjoy the Bill Gates. Otherwise, there is no Buddha, there is a devil sitting inside and he is going to scream. He's going to go, wah, every time he says, hi. Everything will be out of suffering. He would have created Bill Gates in the outer world. So only his suffering will be a communication to everybody, not as a real success of completion. I did all this just to be in the space, enjoying the space, how I enjoyed, I created that for my child. I love to be in life, and life is so beautiful, and I'm going to create that space for my child. The inner world has to be taught. Everybody is there to teach the outer world, but there is nobody to teach about the inner world. Inner space is most prime important that nobody understands in this current world because they're running too fast. They're not stopping to see what's something missing in them. If they start seeing what's missing in them, then they will start be able to understand, oh my God, I need a break here. No, only then they start seeing what is that is missing. The missing is them. There is no you in life. You have done everything. You have the degree, you have the greatest gold medal, you have the Bill Gates money, you have the Rolls Royce, everything in your life. Great children, great family. But you are missing in your life. Who are you? Where are you? What are you holding yourself? That hits you back. Because that is where you really reside. the self which resides constantly keeps telling you, but you stop ignoring. At one point it says, where are you? Without you, what is the point in moving forward? So when you are a child, you live in the and outer and inner world. The inner space and the outer space is very close. They don't know how to keep it inside and do something outside. They are like beautiful, sweet, and who they are inside, they just tell you who they are like this. So they don't have a two people. They don't know sarcasm. They don't know hypocrisy. They don't know anything. And slowly you build this incompletion, making them somebody else, who they are not. And they have a conflict. They start seeing who they are not and who they are, and completely it messes their life. Constantly they have no idea where they're landing up till they start suffering. Till they understand, oh my God, I'm also in this mess game. So they don't know initially. Then we have to start connecting. For that, it's very important to hold a high self-esteem. How do we make the children hold high self-esteem? For that, we have to build consciously. We have to be conscious to build that space for them. I tell them, build a castle of happiness or build a castle of sadness to the children. You pick up what you want. Today you picked up this pattern. Is it going to expand you? No, then drop it. Is your father shouting at you? I'm just giving an example. Or a teacher shouting at you. Then if you pick up and you shout at your friend, then what is the difference? You have picked up now a wrong card, which is not going to make you happy. So don't pick it up. Have an indicator, like a car, have an indicator. No, stop at a point when it says it's not making you happy. Drop that incompletion. Then what happens? It's a beautiful completion which happens inside. Again and again, if the child understands this, and again the child completes with this, they are in a conscious space. They can live in that space because they're used to, they live it. We talk about it, they live it. They know very beautifully who they are. They have a very high clarity what they want to be. Don't be thinking they are not clear, they don't know the purpose, they are not big enough to understand life. No, they only know what is life. They only know what is the clarity that they need to have to going forward. But the constant confusion that happens in us creates the confusion in the child. So the decision to trust your child possibility is what you need to hold. To create a conscious child, you have to hold the possibility, not defined by your rules. Rules of outside world as one chart, you can keep it. No, whenever you want, use it. But don't use it as a scale. Use a scale where he is amazing, where he is a possibility. Create a space where he becomes himself, where you see the child extraordinarily performing. Be there, giving him confidence that who he is, not defining with his books, with his talents, with his ideas about what he wants from the society. Oh, everybody says, doctor, I want to be a doctor. Everybody says, I want to be a scientist, I want to be a scientist. What about an auditor? I don't know what is an auditor. So they have no idea. Those things are not what they really want to be. They want to be really happy being, satisfied being, and holding their inner space in completion, in total completion. Then they are going to be extraordinary automatically, spontaneously. They're going to be successful. They're going to create their world, aligned to the reality. They're going to come and create what they want in their world. Isn't that the better thing than what you define as what they should be? It's a really question. They can be what they can be as a possibility instead of you defining what they should be. The self-esteem should be very high. They should be given as a possibility, not as things defined. You have to be a doctor. In 21 years, you have to study this, this, this. Those are just defined rules by the society which doesn't drive them anywhere. You have to be a biggest player in this. You have to be a chess player. You have to practice so many hours. That doesn't help them in any way consciously building anything. The whole space they are trying to hold is they want to hold their space to be who they are. And they're trying to cling with the outer world. No, outer world doesn't give results. It's good, they are a good prayer, okay. But who they are building inside, are they a possibility inside or defined by logical rules and regulations. This I have to do, that I have to do. I have to sacrifice for this, I have to sacrifice for that. It's not the passion. It's not what they want to be. We define them in a box and label them and tell this is what you are. Then they are not going to build their self-esteem. Make them just relax and let them free what they want to be, and then see what they are coming up with. Give them the trust. They can be anything. They can do surfing on the sea. Oh my God, this is too risky. No. You have to have the confidence. Your child is an amazing space. Yes, don't put into dangerous things. I'm not saying just throw them into the road and ask them to do things. No. Start building confidence that you trust whatever steps they take in life is good for them. Suppose they want to miss an exam for something which they are passionate about. It's okay. Exam rules, I understand the school is going to come in. No, this is not right, that is not right. But there's something more they're going to get it. If you feel that is their passion, you have to let go and make them understand what is the right decision they are making for themselves at the point. Is it out of greed, it is out of fear, or their real passion to be who they are? If you let them only, you will even learn what is it. Then your communication with the child is simple. Oh, this is what you are. It repeats in so many times in your life. And they will have clarity. But if you define by rules, already the schools are defining rules. Already the teachers are defining, their friends are defining. Now you join the whole thing and you also define by rules. Then how do they become the possibility? How do they feel, I can do it? They have to go out. There are projects where the kids are taken out to the streets and they help out somebody unknown, and then they feel, oh my God, I'm so confident I can do this. I never thought I could get on a bus. No, as simple as that. Or travel on my own and reach this place, and I can do these things. I never thought I could do. I'm not telling you to put them in a dangerous situation. Be careful where you're sending, what you're doing, give them a cell phone, whatever. But you have to give them confidence. They are a possibility from young. Not say he's too small for this, he's too small for that, he cannot do this, he cannot decide that. Kids can decide better than us. That is the borderline. So the last one I want to tell before closing this is taking responsibility by the parents to build this. Now we are going to go to the workshop. I'm going to define the workshops. Okay, I'm going to just consolidate the whole thing now and define the workshop questions. Then you can take up the question and you can start going through. The first thing, connecting to the child, I was talking about the context that we build through communication, communicating with the child. What are we communicating? How are we living? What is our body language? How do we hold the space constantly throughout the day? Look at it as a movie. What would you be watching yourself and what would you say? The second thing is building the communication with the clarity, with making it happen. How is it happening and what is the feedback that we are getting through this communication? So when we do this, when we build ourselves like this, the kids watch us and they also start picking up such a beautiful communication with us. The second part, we were speaking about the empathy. How do we build empathy? When we are a boss, when we start commanding, nothing happens around us. Nobody listens to us. We are just a bunch of incompletion. But when we take a right understanding and hold the space like a coach, we are amazing and the child starts picking up. That is the real empathy. Not sitting and crying, seeing somebody says something, you start crying. That is not empathy, that is sympathy. Empathy is building like a coach. That you are really empathetic with other being because the other being is part of you. Living in that space of Advaita, whoever you are, whatever you are they expanding when they come into the communication with you? That is the real communication you're building here. So the third part, we are talking about the self-esteem that you hold for your children is low because you're always in the outer world results, which doesn't expand them, and constantly you tell them for 14 years, how will they live the rest of their life? They'll think outer world is life. No, there is a big world which creates the outer world. Give them a king's position, not a worker's position. Make them the queen bee. No, make them sit there and run life just like a wand. Give them the magic wand to build their self-esteem, high self-esteem. And how you build it? By giving them lot of possibility to happen where their passion is, where they want to be who they are, and giving them the possibility. I want to try this. I want to do this. Give them that space. Don't define by rules of the outer world and stop them every time. If you start even small things, you'll think exam is there, they shouldn't do this. This is there, they shouldn't do that. They should not go by themselves. They should not do by themselves. Because you don't trust yourself, you don't give the trust to them. If you are a self-made person, then you will be giving them all the freedom. You will tell, okay, go ahead with it. But then the self-made with suffering is different. Self-made as a success is different. If you are self-made and you've been a success from holding a high possibility space, then you will give that. Otherwise, you are very doubtful. So you're giving your doubt to that. The connecting to the child is nothing but as simple as the child inside you, how you connect. How you can talk into your listening is how your child will listen. Very simple. How you talk into your listening is exactly how your child will listen. If you can talk into your listening, your child will just do anything and everything you tell. Never have any tiff or any rough time or say, oh, this is so difficult, he never listens. Oh, this is too much, he will not do it. I don't know how to convince him. Nothing, just the word you say, he'll be there to do for you. Because you are able to talk into your listening, you'll just get what to tell the other kid. Because your child is nothing but a recreation of your childhood. You just make your childhood happen again in front of you. What you thought is your reality is what you create as your children. So now we are going to do a wonderful workshop, superb workshop that we are going to share. First, you're going to write how you connect with your childhood. Take the photos of your childhood. No, you have a big album of where all you went, what all you do. So take all the pictures or go back and ask your mom and ask for all the pictures. Go back to your memories, nice memories. Put all the pictures and see yourself. How many things you have missed out. You felt, oh my God, I couldn't be a possibility that day. Or you had so much of desire which never happened. So much of fear. No, each picture will just speak to you what they were incomplete about. Because they were so raw with incompletion. So sit with all yourself as a child. Or just think about all your childhood at different instant. When you were 2 years, when you were 5 years. All the things happens by 7 years. Your movie is done. After that, you only replay the movie. There is no other movie. Only thing, you change one character, put another character, call your spouse. Change another character and put another character, call your children. Take another character and put another character, call your boss. So the teacher becomes the boss, the father becomes your spouse, or the mother becomes your child. This is how you just replace. But the whole scene that is happening is again and again the first 7 years of your life. Reliving. You are doing that all the time. But do it consciously. Now relive it consciously. Oh, this is what I did with the teacher that day. She was so rude. So I wanted to give her one. I was so angry with the teacher. So complete with the teacher. And sit with the whole space. So you with every picture. So when you see the school photo, you'll see 2 kids who are very jealous. 2 kids you are very greedy about. Not one teacher who was like always horrible. So you will take the school album or take the pictures from your old books and start reliving that space. Because if you have a picture, you can really, live it so nicely. So if you can relive that whole space and complete, do the whole kriya of looking at it, living it, writing the whole thing, and then looking in the mirror, talking with or here the picture is also you now, talking into yourself, and then sharing it with everybody around you. At least 5 people, Swamiji says, when you share and see, I have a problem. So I keep on talking, it becomes not relevant anymore. Because it becomes, again and again, if you talk, the people will be bored and they won't listen, and your mind itself gets bored of it and say, the whole essence is lost. Anything, good or bad, even if you tell a joke 10 times, you will just lose the whole thing. Only Swamiji can tell a joke and make it funny every time. Because we are so caught up with so many things, we retell, we just lose the interest in that. So we are just losing interest in all these negative patterns. Again and again I'm speaking about it, I'm going to lose the whole thing. So the second question, the first question is, how you connect with your childhood. That's how you're going to connect to your child. So the first 7 years, your movie, replay it with all the pictures, do the whole movie, recorrect it, arrange it in the way you want. Second, your communication with your parents and teachers. How you were communicating when you were a child with your parents, with your teachers, how you feel comfortable, confident, self-esteem, empathetic. Now how you feel the communication was. Or it was your father's pattern of, oh teacher, I'm scared. Because that's where you are holding, because your father or your friend hold that space. So how you held the space with your parents, how did you communicate? Complete with that. No, that is the second thing. Write it down bit by bit and complete with that. The third thing is the most important thing. Your action point in making a difference in your child, creating a conscious being. You make a decision. My child should be complete in every step he walks. I don't want to give him any other gift, but this is the best gift. Swami says the most greatest gift that he has given to the world is the completion. So what else can we share with our children? They don't know, so we have to live it with them and share it with them. So if you give that space constantly in every action, making them understand the inner space is most important and not the outer world. Outer world can happen in any way. 10 years I can learn something, but which is not useful for me at all in my life. I did my engineering and I did my company, working in an IT company for 15 years now. Totally I spent in all these things. But I have no use to it. I was so sacrificing everything for doing it. But there was no passion, there was no me in it. I just did it because of the greed. Now I think it's a waste of my time of 15 years. 15 minutes, we can't stand wasting time. And 15 years, if you look back and if you waste, you will understand. So make them understand their purpose very beautifully by letting them live it. No, let them grasp from who they are, not defining by the rules that you are putting. So the third point is you taking responsibility. So we'll have a little break of 15 minutes, and then after we come back from the break, we can take up the question and answers and finish with the whole thing. Thank you.
Nityananda Gurukul, under the guidance of the rare living incarnation Paramahamsa Nityananda, with the combination of ancient Vedic knowledge of life and the global standards of the most modern student-based education, the BLISS curriculum includes quantum memory, multiple intelligence, mind-body learning, and the whole brain learning. This will lead your children to blossom into high achievers and to be the most successful leaders of tomorrow. Nityananda Gurukul, under the guidance of the rare living incarnation Paramahamsa Nityananda, with the combination of ancient Vedic knowledge of life and the global standards of the most modern student-based education. The BLISS curriculum includes quantum memory, multiple intelligence, mind-body learning, and the whole brain learning. This will lead your children to blossom into high achievers and to be the most successful leaders of tomorrow.
Nityananda, so today you would have written all this workshop question. Now we are going to play a video. In this video, I'm just going to describe the video. So the video that you just saw is about a child who is so free, so confident. He just lost his job. It's just to show how the self-esteem kid can live. He just lost his job, and then he just goes and he loses his friends, he loses his things, and then he goes out, somebody tows his car away, and then he still stands up fine and clear, and then he goes home, he wants to open his door, he loses his key, and then he goes and relaxes. This is just a small ad maybe, but playing this again and again, you will understand the context, how confident life is to live a blissful space. There's so many incompletion which you have to face during the life. It's not like bed of roses. It's all combined. So many things happens in your life. No, all the good, all the bad, everything happens in your life. But how you hold the space this child is holding in here is confidence, and really communicates to us that he is happy whatever happens. He is so blissful inside. So whatever life does, he is not going to start feeling bad. He always has an option to enjoy life. Your life is for expansion. Your life is for more beautiful space. That needs to happen through you. but constantly you are in incompletion, which creates the confusion and chaos. So let this child who you are bringing up, let it be brought up. Swami says we bring down children. We should not say we bring up. Like we say, we fall in love. We don't grow in love. Because we are so confused, we create more mess out of ourselves and create a small mess of ourselves. So the kid that is sitting inside, incomplete within you, was creating all this. Now you start listening to the child inside and start saying, oh, this incompletion is because I had with my mom, that day I did not go to bed without seeing her and I was feeling so incomplete. So now my friends just left me is such a big thing for me because they did not see me. So I am so upset. How can they do this? But it's actually not my friends. It's my mom who did that day. She didn't do it voluntarily. She didn't have any agenda. But the whole context, what is I'm holding that incompletion space is how can this happen? I had a negative pattern, ideas and views. So let me go back and complete with that view and relive that and just make it disappear. Now, whatever my friends do, oh, they have to go, they go, that's all. I'm not going to miss anything. You're not going to miss anybody, anything in your life. You're free from missing things. You're so alive in life, in yourself, in your being. So everything what's happening now, you just have to look back and see where you just left that. And then catch up. The more you complete with your mom, you are so complete, your emotions are very clear, you become emotionally intelligent. The more you complete with all the misunderstanding from the society, you will have clarity in life, what you want to be, how you want to align your reality. And life just happens in for you. Because you're attracting more and more completion starts happening in you. All that we want to have is in our life is bliss. Not become just Bill Gates, but a Buddha Bill Gates. Happiness we have to learn to enjoy and be living, whether we are living with the richness or we are in with nothing. As this ad says, there's a beautiful story that Swami once told. There was one person, one hermit, one sadhu. He went to the king and he started enjoying everything. The king was so surprised. Sadhu is somebody who don't ask for enjoying things. He asks for food, he asks for everything, and he is consistently enjoying everything. The king was so mad. What is this? This sadhu came and sat and he wants the big bed and he wants every food he wants and everything that he wants as luxury. But then one day the king was defeated and somebody asked for his kingdom. So he went to this sadhu and said, I am so horrible space. I am feeling horrible. I don't know what to do. I want to kill myself because I lost my kingdom. And then the sadhu says, oh wow, I can go to the next king. And the king is so shocked. He then understood what he missed seeing is the sadhu, the hermit, never had any incompletion. He was living his life. Now the life given new opportunity, he just jumps into another opportunity as life expands. Not suffer. You hold back things, you suffer. So this beautiful ad which says how the child has to connect to the conscious space and start living in completion, be royal like a king and hold a space of the sadhu. So he will always, never he'll miss anything, never he'll be incomplete, never nothing will be lost, never anything bad is going to happen to him because everything happens to him is a beautiful space. He's going to enjoy that. Oh, this is what is happening. Okay, fine. Let's start what we can do best out of this. So he is going to be a confident leader everywhere, holding a greatest space of possibility. So that is what we have to hold for the kids. That's the best gift. And that is how you connect to the kids where the being came here for. No, somebody comes to your house for some purpose, you drag them for everything else except what they want. That's how we are with kids. They came here for something, but you think they are part of you and you drag them into all your incompletion and finally they mess up, they lost what they want to do and they forget and they go with nothing. So when they come here, they've come here for a higher purpose. Let's guide them into that purpose. And then you will be so happy and satisfied seeing the real child flower in front of you, the being happen in front of you. Then you will understand, oh my God, this is such a beautiful, awesome thing that I have done. So that is how you connect with your child. Not just making them a top leader, a top great scientist, a top doctor. Top is good, but from the space of completion, who they want to be, not out of your incompletion, what you did not become, I'll make the child. Not playing your movies always. Let them start with a fresh direction of their life. How will that be? That is the interesting space you have to enjoy with them. Not give your tape and say, okay, live like this. That is not what we are going to do. That is not connecting the child. The beautiful space you will also enjoy, they'll also enjoy when you hold that space. Swamiji holds the Gurukul. Gurukul is a school here with 100 kids. So Swamiji holds for every child like that. They enjoy being themselves. Same time they're expressing the maximum possibility and new thing they are evolving. Everything is like amazing themselves, and Swamiji sees them evolving like that. So that's both like beautiful things which are happening here. No pattern, no incompletion, nothing happens. So that is the space you're going to hold. So we just played one ad, Engineers. We have a question from one of the participants about the Engineers program. What is this program and how it helps the children? Engineers is the ultimate program for a child. It's the one-of-the-kind program which is never given before any time by any master for a child. This is the first time Swami has designed just for children. Beautiful kriyas, yogas, and beautiful lifestyle, understanding, and creative workshops that they have. And they go through for 21 days, and the beautiful initiation from the master to build a higher conscious brain. When Swamiji initiates, he really gives the hardware also. Whatever we are doing, we can only hold the space, but Swamiji can wire, put the new cord and make it a hybrid computer, so that when you put the software, it just happens for them. It just become a manifestation for them. The reality comes in front of them, and they align to that reality and enjoy life. Whatever the reality, they learn to enjoy that life. So they are in a creative space. They can manipulate and create what they want. They are in such a possibility space. So that is where we are raising them to conscious level, not just a mental satisfaction or mental achievement. It is a conscious achievement. So to that extent, we can take them. And that is given in 21 days as a session by Swamiji himself has designed this and guided. And he himself initiates the children into the higher beings, what the real purpose they came here for. After this program, we have seen the kids highly talented, highly settled with themselves. The restlessness that we have, constantly not knowing what to do, how to do, when to do, the whole restlessness because of our confusion. Because we are not complete, we don't know what to do. So the restless words and thoughts which keeps on coming is completely not there and not going to be there, because they are going to live in such a beautiful space. The clarity is given right from the start. So they're going to be the highest achievers. Swami says the Engineers program is like 10 times the adult program. Why? Because they are able to receive it. Anything you give the child, they enjoy it, grab it, eat it, enjoy it. So this is the same thing when they get the greatest gift from the master, they're able to enjoy that space also beautiful. And it's the best gift for yuhas, for Janmas, they're going to hold this. The gift is not just now. It's a vaccination given for rest of their life and lifetimes they're going to have. They're going to start in a higher level of definition of humankind. They're going to be a new being evolving into a new souls, having higher technology in their brain to think in a higher intelligent. We have seen kids only in terms of the logical, analytical excellence. But here we are going to see conscious excellence, conscious toppers. No, that is what they're going to be. And we are going to see it happen more and more as these kids come to engineers. Thousands of kids have come and got initiated with Swamiji. With his blessings, they have grown into a beautiful being. Now, more and more children are coming to see the conscious space. Swami is given the greatest gift of blindfold reading, where the kids tie an eye band around their eyes and they're able to read completely closing their eyes. Even with open eyes, we make so much of mistakes and we see somebody and think they are somebody else, all kinds of things. But consciously, they are able to evolve into new being, that they are able to see without even their eyes, and they are able to perceive things in a most beautiful way where things exist. The reality exists. The Atma Shakti Swami calls. His connection, he connects through the child and makes it happen so beautifully. Like one lamp connecting to the other lamp, the new lamp is glittering so beautifully because it's lit from the most beautiful lamp. So same thing happens to your child in 21 days, and this is the best thing that you can do in your life for your child. If not anything, 21 days of their life creates a new, conscious being in them. So that's the best you can do for them in this 21 days. That is this Ingenious program. I'll tell you where you can contact soon. I'll finish the questions that is given, and then we'll go with the contact details. So why, one of the parent is asking, why my child never listens? Exactly, this is what we've been speaking. She's so frustrated that the child is not listening to her. Whatever she tried, it's not happening. Because you lost the coin in your house and you're searching in my house. That Swamiji beautifully gives this example. We always do this. We lost it with our childhood, and we are trying to correct it with our children. Where you lost, you have to go fix, and then here it will automatically happen. If you speak into your childhood, when you are a child, what happened in your space, if you are able to speak into yourself, you can speak anything and your child will listen. But speaking into your child has to have the complete space in you. That will happen completing with your childhood. That happens, this is going to happen, and surely we have seen miracles. The kids really listen beautifully. They love listening. They are a listener. We are the speakers. They are a listeners. So they wonderfully listen, and it's such a beautiful thing, how they would have listened, so many subtle things which we would have even missed hearing it. Such a beautiful space they have. So they will listen. When you go back and do this workshop, you'll see a tremendous difference. The second question we have here is, how to make my child be less lazy? So the children nowadays are given lots of laptops, lots of computers, lot of time sitting. So the more, by 8 years is one, after that they start becoming lazy. Till 8 years they're jumping, roaming, and everything they're doing. Then it just kinds of come down. That's why it's very important how we do the yoga, not just the sports. Sports is more of a competition, more of an outer ideas. The yoga, the body, how we listen to the body and how we enjoy our body will not be lazy at all. You ask any person who loves yoga, are they lazy? They are passionate. Even the laziness will be broken by the yoga they are doing. Even if they are so lazy people, but if they start practicing yoga, they will be a completely new being when they are doing the yoga. Because it's a love of your body. It's not just a game. It's not a sport. It is something beyond. You're playing with your breath. You're playing with your body. And constantly working with these two gives an amazing possibility of loving yourself. So the laziness breaks down. So remove the computer, remove the phones, iPad, iPod, everything, and get them to a yoga class you also enjoy, or get up in the morning and have a fresh yoga. Surya Namaskar, 108 challenge. Come on, let's do. You do it or me do it. Let's see who daddy does it. Let's see that happening. It can be a sports, but it can be more of a conscious sports where you evolve with your body. So the listening for your body happens, so laziness disappears. After that, even if you try to sit, it will not let you to do that. You will be into active doing something, because when you are a great listener, you cannot be without action. You have to get into doing something. The third question, my child never communicates to anyone. This is a common complaint parents does, but they don't know what's happening with the children in the school. We run many schools and we have seen children. The parents are very upset that children do not talk to them, do not communicate with them, do not tell what's happening with their friends, because they are incomplete with their childhood, how they were with the teachers and parents. Same thing happens to them. Same way, they are seeing that in the child happening and they are incomplete. But actually the children will be having so many friends and they create a chaos in the schools. If you ask the teacher, they'll be telling, oh, she's a very talkative girl. She constantly have questions between their friends. Yes, she doesn't talk to the teacher, but she has her own group and there she is constantly talking happily, playing, everything is normal. So most of the children are just normal, no paranoid parents. Paranoid parents are more exaggerating the situation and creating more problem for themselves. Any problem, your child is not the problem. Go complete with your childhood and connect to them in such a beautiful space they are. They are a new being which has come, new tape, no movies in it. Teach them to become a director of the movie they want to play. Not play your movie, copy it into their disc and give it to them. No, they don't want to be that. And forcing that will stop them to communicate with you. Live in their space and see who they are. Connect to them. Not complain about them. Connect to them. If you're complaining, you have such deep incompletion about yourself. As a child, you were quiet, you could not express. Find out where the incompletion started. Then you will see your child is communicating too much. They're like non-stop asking you questions and talking and everything happens. Because you become one with them as a friend. So it just becomes this beautiful space. The next question, that my child is rude to others, hits and hurts everyone. So actually there's no child who's born rude or they are like violent, they are naughty, nothing. They are themselves. These labels that we give on the children is only making them worse. So first remove the label and sit and complete with them. Where they have fear, why they want to survive, where they had to survive and think life is dangerous and there's nobody to help them out. Complete and repeat it many times till their pattern dissolves. In action, you can make them dissolve. The violence is usually they are like naughty and hitting everybody. But there is no such thing as violence. That is only the incompletion they learned from us. So just dissolve that and that will disappear. Instead of it coming as an incompletion, it will just disappear and it will not hurt them nor anybody. So sit with them, speak to them, get them to listen more and get them to understand where they are upset, that they had to stand up for themselves and they got beaten up or shouted at or anything for no reason of what they are. So that incompletion which is sitting inside them, even as a 3, 5, 4 years old, they had these ideas. So complete with that, they'll simply be beautiful children. They'll be in a space of completion and you'll enjoy more with them. The rudeness and everything will drop. You can grow some plants, have the sesame seeds and put it in 2 cups. One you can label as anger, the other as love, and show them. Go shout at this anger and give the plant love, more and more love. See what happens in yourself. So the child will practically understand what's happening. Any plant, if they start shouting, it will get destroyed because there's so much of negative thoughts. So make the child understand what is being rude, what is to understand having the violence. So if they understand what's happening to others and themselves, what is happening in the plant is what is happening inside you. It's destroying your brain. More and more your brain cells are dropping, or I should say shrinking, which is not a good sign for yourself. So once they understand, the right understanding is given, and help them through it many times, then it'll just disappear. So many kids who are violent has just become beautiful being. Stopped all the hitting. We are so surprised. Only thing they did was grow a rose plant and talk to the plants and ask the plant to drop the thorns. By the time they drop the thorn, the kid is complete and they drop the violence. You can try this out also with the kid. The next question, the last question I would like to take. My child does not do well in studies, so she has a low self-esteem. It is not, she doesn't do well in the studies, she has low self-esteem. She has an idea about what happens because she doesn't do well in studies. She has her views and opinion about what is being given to her when she doesn't study, and then she gets into the low self-esteem that I can't do, nothing is possible. All these ideas starts coming in because of what she holds, not what it is. The children cannot understand because of studies and I'll be dull, depressed, nothing. Kids can never go into depression. So all that she views, all the ideas she has is given by the teachers, friends, and all the people around her, and make her understand in many things as a possibility. Where is her possibility which exists? Once we make them understand that, then the self-esteem disappear. As I said, the outer world result is not your self-esteem based. The inner space where you built for your child, holding them in with that space as possibility, where they exist, gives them the high confidence and self-esteem. So last webinar also I spoke about self-esteem, how the confidence improved and how the space is to be held by the parent and how beautifully the children are in high self-esteem. So I'm reiterating that please watch the last one webinar also if you want to understand this much deeper. Now let's consolidate the whole session and let's go to the completion process. So first, connecting with the child, the context that we have to hold is how we communicate with ourselves, how we are messing up with ourselves. We get tired, we get lazy, we get angry. So constantly our movie, which gets repeated every day, which is a sort of a mundane movie which keeps on playing again and again and again, which we call as reality, which we live in the fantasy of our own movie. No, that has to be dropped in front of the children. Let's be who we are. Let's build a new, creative, beautiful things for our children. And we have clarity in what we are doing. We will be making it happen. And we have the feedback. Whatever fails, we will stand up and we'll show them how we built our beautiful space. Then there's a new breakthrough in that movie that is happening, that we are authentic and the child is also going to pick up those things. We complete with our inner space more and more and more with our childhood. More and more listening happens to ourselves. We can talk into our listening. Our child simply listen. Nothing else works nowadays. Whatever you try, you have to be complete. So the second part is the empathy that we spoke. Don't be a boss. Don't boss around, give them rules, regulations and all that. It doesn't work. Disciplining doesn't work. Now only the right understanding, being a coach works. Amazingly it works. Giving them the right understanding and holding them in that right space. That makes the children as great leaders. That's what Swamiji does here for all the children here. He gives them and puts them to a real beautiful routine and then gives them the support to make that routine as a greater intelligence and make them express it also. So he conducts the whole thing for the child. Become a conductor of your child, not giving your patterns and make them another incompletion story, small story to your story. but a new story, new book that you're going to write, that is going to be your child. Let him be a new author, writing a new book for himself. And let's hold that space for him. Let's support with the pen, paper, book, time, everything that he wants to be in that. So let's give that space by giving a high self-esteem space for him as a possibility, not a low self-esteem ideas like this is what they have to achieve, this is why we are earning, this will make you more popular, this is what gives you money for your life. No, nothing makes you so great. There was a school teacher in Vellore in Tamil Nadu district in India who is just a school teacher. He held a beautiful space of completion. He created a golden temple and it's so famous. Anybody can Google as Vellore Golden Temple. Such a famous thing. Swamiji is here, the living example of from a village creating the golden temple in Bidadi, greatest possibility. It was just a barren land with trees and everything. He is going to create the same thing. What has happened and what's happening, masters after masters are proving they can stay in a cave, but they can create the most amazing possibility. Why can't we trust our children will be one of them? Where you can create the ultimate possibility for them, creating a high self-esteem that nothing changes their ideas and views. They are going to be the highest possibility of the times. So this is what we were talking. The last part I want to do is the completion itself. Every day, sit with your child. Every day, make sure you sit with your child and you do the completion with your child. And what are the things that you got angry, upset, or anything that the child has viewed, that's movie part that your child has seen, make sure the child, what the child saw, what nothing but your incompletion movie. Make them understand they have to be in the new books. They have to be in the clarity and make it happen in a perfect purpose. They have to hold the space of completion in everything. Build it with highest conscious possibility that they have to align what they want to be, whatever it be, their highest possibility, who they are in the inner space and what they are projecting in the outer space is the highest possibility you can be. The babies are always happy because they want to be happy in the inner space and curious in the outer space. So the same thing, be Buddha in the inner space and Bill Gates in the outer space. Be Swamiji in the inner and outer space. Both happens in the same space, right? So we all can hold the same space, making our life so beautiful like Swamiji's, and becoming one with Swamiji is the greatest opportunity we have. So by saying that, and I'm just going to give you the contact details, and thank you for coming for today's session. And it's so wonderful. So many people from so many places are this is going to reach out to so many kids and so many parents. It's a wonderful thing Swamiji has given us today. And this can be found in the other parenting, the old parenting sessions can be found in the YouTube when you type N-Education, E-N-E-D-C, education, N-Education is the name of the it's a name of the channel, and the playlist is N Parenting. It's E-N-E-D-U-C-A-T-I-O-N, N Education, E-N. So this is what if you put in the YouTube, you'll understand that you can see the previous webinars that has happened, and you can watch for the current webinar and the coming webinars that will be announced. Such a wonderful thing that you all are here, and you want to contact us through any questions, or you finish the workshop, you want to send and discuss with us, you're most welcome. Any question you have about Ingenious program, Swamiji's program, for the children, you can always contact us at neducation@nithyananda.org. Sorry, N-Education, E-N-Education @nithyananda.org is the email address. You can always send to us, and we'll respond immediately as soon as we receive it. Hope you enjoyed today's session, and connect to your child, connect to yourself in a most beautiful way. Thank you. Thank you, Swamiji. We'll end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Sadguru Padukarpanamastu. Om Nityanandam. Thank you.